Getting diagnosed for ADHD is difficult, and it's even harder if your symptoms aren't taken seriously. Our next guest says this is the reality for many racialized kids who are treated like a problem in the classroom instead of getting the support they need. Calissa Ngozi is a mental health expert and child and youth care professor at Mohawk College. She joins me now with a look at this issue. Great to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
So how does ADHD show up in the class?
I think what we need to remember is that someone with ADHD has different executive functioning. So each child is going to show up differently. So we're seeing them struggling to complete tasks. We're seeing them with high anxiety. There's a lot of issues that these kiddos are facing, but it's being labeled differently, right? So if it's hard to stay on task, if you have ADHD, your teachers are going to look at you differently, and that's where the problem starts.
So we see the behaviors start to show up. What happens next? Well,
we take a look at why are these behaviors showing up, and why is my kid acting differently? And teachers say it all the time. I have certain children that their behaviors show up differently, and other children that I can manage it. And it's actually really quite hard for a lot of our students that are dealing with it.
Yeah, we know that children who look differently are also diagnosed differently.
Oh, 100%. So our racialized, our Indigenous, all of these types of students, they're looked at differently. All of a sudden, it's more defiance, it's more aggressive. Then instead of saying maybe they just need extra support because their brain functions differently than an atypical one.
You've said in our pre-interview notes that another barrier is a lack of support in our medical system. So what does that look like for families who are trying to get an ADHD diagnosis for their child?
Well, I think the hard part is we don't always know what ADHD looks like. Do I want it to be diagnosed? Where do I go? How do I get these supports? And if we're not talking about it as a community, then you don't know where to go. You're struggling at home. You're struggling in the classroom. So it's about going to your family doctor and asking, I need help. There's something that's going on with my child, and I don't know what these next steps look like. And the same with the teacher, having a conversation with them and saying, listen, like, I know you're saying that Joey is struggling in the classroom, but I know that there's something deeper because I trust my gut.
That feels like it could be very scary to have to stand up and say, I think what you're seeing in my child is wrong. I think there's something else happening.
I just had this happen myself. Now, I have one of my kiddos that have ADHD, and I had a letter from somebody at the school, and it essentially said, we don't know if your child is seeking attention or if there is maybe something wrong. So I had to tell them, remember, he's on an individualized education plan and he has a diagnosis of ADHD. So yes, it is going to show up differently. So when he's interrupting in the classroom, it's not attention seeking. It's his brain telling him, you need to get this out and you need to say what you need to say because you're going to forget it. So I asked them gently, just remind him, you know, because it's not okay to blurt out in class. But we also need to remember the IEP is in place for a reason. Remind him to raise his hand. Give him a cue of, okay, buddy, just 1 second, and then I'm going to get to you. Tell him to write it down. Give him those tips, tricks, and tools so that he's not centered out.
What I hear you saying in that is that the advocacy doesn't stop.
Oh, no, no, no. You are your child's biggest cheerleader. And if you're not going to do it, who else is going to? We have to remember that class sizes, you know, across Canada are massive. So teachers can't give individualized support to every child. So it's got to be up to you.
We also know that other barriers include long wait times and high costs for assessments when you're trying to get the diagnosis. Is there a way around that?
There is. Now, we do need to remember that even though we do have access to health care, free doesn't mean fast, right? But the first step is going to your family doctor, getting them to do the assessment. That's what I did, is I got the ADHD assessment, and then also speaking with your school about getting what's called a psychoeducational assessment. And the wait time is long. We're looking at a couple of years. If you're lucky enough to have benefits, it can speed up the process, and you can get referred to a psychiatrist or a psychologist to do that assessment and start the wheels moving to help your child.
Calissa, what do you do if you suspect your child may have ADHD, but their symptoms aren't being taken seriously, either by the school or by a doctor, and they're getting this label of aggressive or attention-seeking? What do you do?
Well, you know what? You need to understand that your child's confidence is going to be lowered. Their anxiety is going to be higher. So start tracking behaviors. When is this happening? Is it during math class? Is it during science? Is it during gym? Is it recess? Tracking those is like super, super important. Talk to the teachers because they spend more time with your kid than you do. What are they seeing in the classroom? And is it appropriate? And are they labeling them, like we talked about earlier, as being aggressive and defiant? Or are they seeing that they actually just need extra support?
Calissa, you are an incredible advocate, not only for your kiddos, but also just for the parents and families watching this morning. I'm thankful for this conversation.
Oh, me too. Just don't let your child be left behind.
Yeah, we'll be right back.